Welcome to Awakening You channel. If you appreciate what we do, please support us. Thank you. So do not give in to suffering. Do not give in to despair. Do not give in to the desire to die together. Why? Your soul journey is different. You will not stop your journey because the other person died. It was his walk, and you had the opportunity to be with that soul for as long as it was, and you learned a lot from her and taught her too. So, don't suffer for that soul because you hurt it. When you cry, you despair, that soul does not go away, that soul remains trapped in matter, suffering, seeing its suffering, and does not go to the light. It becomes a wandering soul, which never leaves you, because you don't let it. You keep calling for her all the time. So she won't leave. This is what? Is it love? No, this is selfishness. This is called selfishness. Let the soul follow its path. You may suffer, you may even cry. It's not you suffering and crying all the time that will bring her back, on the contrary, you will be hurting that soul. So where is your love? So cry, suffer, it's over, there's nothing more you can do. So get up, pray a lot for that soul, showing her that you are okay, that she can follow her path, and that you will be okay. This is love, because you understand that that soul has its own path. So love her, set her free, and that's it, move on with your life. You will cry someday, you will suffer someday, but your journey continues. It's not by clinging on, showing suffering, often even exaggerated, that will do that soul good. This is selfishness. So free the souls that are gone. Don't get attached to them. You can pray for them, but always leave them free. It's not asking, why did you leave me? She left, because it was her time. This is not a question to ask. Because the soul understands that it was not the time, and it becomes trapped. So free your souls, free the souls of those who were. You are still here, alive, because you still have a journey to continue. Then continue your walk, respect the other soul's journey. She's gone, very well, so hand her over to the light. Tell her, go. I will be fine. Go where you have to go. And the soul will, because it knows that you were fine. So this excessive suffering, despair, is not good for you or your soul. Then many enter this despair knowing that their soul is trapped, and they do it on purpose. As if to say, if you are making me suffer, I will also make you suffer. Careful. Be careful with your decisions, because tomorrow when your soul frees itself from this body that you wear, that other soul will free itself, but not now, you will not go down the path you are imagining, because you have made a soul your slave, trapped by a feeling that you do not actually feel. You are just mistreating that soul. So be careful. Be careful with the actions you have. So to conclude, there is not much more to say. Today you may even shed a few tears, but don't forget to thank Father or Mother God for the time that soul lived with you. You have had this privilege, so be thankful. And say to the soul, I am fine. Stay in peace. I'm moving on with my life. Stay in peace. Go into the light in peace. And if it is the path of that soul, it will go to the light, because she always has angels to take souls away, those who free themselves from you. So today, enjoy, free your souls, because many of you continue to imprison them. So release. Do a good deed today. Since it was a day created for suffering, to lower the vibration of the planet, then at least do something good. Free the soul, if you are one of those who are imprisoning her, thinking that keeping her imprisoned, because you are also suffering, is a punishment for her. And understand, it really is. Careful. Be careful with your decisions. So remember you're dead today. Yes, but with affection, with gratitude. Be grateful to God the Father or Mother and to them for having lived with them. It's not suffering, it is not by suffering that you show love for that soul. And all the time she lived with you, is it over? So show joy, gratitude, for the time you lived with them, and be sure that they will be much happier than you standing on the edge of a cold tomb, where there is nothing there, crying for that soul that passed away. What is there in that tomb? Bone, hair, nothing else. There's nothing there. There's nothing like that soul there. That outfit is no longer hers, she got rid of it a long time ago. So why cry on top of a cold grave? Why? What macabre act was this that was created for you? It's over, the physical body is dead. He was consumed, only the bones remained, which no longer belong to the one who was gone, it's a bone. The soul is not tied to the bones. The soul freed itself from that clothing. This is the end of the outfit. So why stand over a grave crying? Think, my brothers. Think about the amount of lies that were told to you. There's nothing there. And many souls, I'll tell you, many souls don't even care if you go to the tomb and cry, because they are so high, so evolved, that they won't care if you are there crying for them on top of a tomb, because they understand that you haven't learned anything. You continue to be stuck in these beliefs, in these macabre rituals that lead to nothing. If you want today to be remembered by your soul, be grateful to her. Show the joy of having lived with them. Ah, this feeling will come to them, this one arrives. And they will be very happy to know that they built a beautiful journey with you, and that it left you with nostalgia, not suffering. So think carefully about what you are worshipping. Think carefully about what you are understanding as worshipping the dead. You who are here, in this evolution towards the fifth dimension, can no longer act like this. That's over. I think I've already taught you enough to let go of these beliefs, these macabre rituals that lead to nothing. They lead nothing to the light, because it leads to the other side. Because you go there and cry, cry, cry. What happens to your vibration? And in that place where all the dead are worshipped, there is an egregore of pain, there is an egregore of evil, because many spirits of little light are concentrated there. So you go there, cry, 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 those spirits of little light like to see you crying, and they stay close, and you end up taking home a bunch of friends. Then you don't know why after you went to that place, you felt bad. Of course there are lots of friends around. So think. Is this what you want for yourselves? Do you want to kill your vibration? That's right. So think twice before going there. You want to worship your dead, be grateful for having lived with them, that's what you have to do. Don't cry, suffering because they are gone. Be grateful for having lived a life, a time, however long it takes, with them. That's what you have to do. Whoever is preparing for the fifth dimension, this is what they have to do. Do not go to that place where the egregore is evil, because that is where they gather, because they stay there just waiting for the souls to disconnect from the body, and when the soul doesn't really know where it's going, they capture the soul. Is this the environment you want to stay in? Is it in this environment that you want to bring down your vibrations? Think hard. What are you doing with your vibrations? The soul is eternal. The connection with that soul is also eternal, but not through attachment, through love. Whoever loves wants to see the other well. So free your souls, and be grateful. This is the feeling you have today, to be grateful for having lived as long as you did with those you say you loved. I am Archangel Michael. I hope you effectively listen to my words.